Hey guys, welcome to Grounded Roots Healing. I'm Jason, and I make sporadic videos on this channel, Grounded Roots Healing. And I wanted to talk about spooky action at a distance, which otherwise would be known as quantum entanglement. I think I know how to explain this in a way that might make sense to a few people, unscientific people like myself, from a spiritual perspective. And I'm starting to see that this is one of my roles here is to be a translator of this stuff. And I haven't had a lot of an urge to describe any of this recently at all. I've been getting downloads and I've been getting understandings of this. I just haven't felt like an interest in telling anybody about it. And I couldn't figure out why. But recently, as in today, I decided I wanted to talk about this one. Now, as some of you know, I've been writing a book. Part of this book will be translating this stuff, describing it in a certain way so that it's easier to understand, especially for many of us who don't understand physics deeply. We're not physicists. I have an aptitude for science. I have a degree in geology, earth science. And I do have I've had a scientific mind in the past. And I've had an ability to understand this stuff, but I could never get passionate about it. Never. It was never my passion. I liked looking at the bigger picture. So it leaned me towards geology, and especially the part of geology, plate tectonic structural geology, that leads to a bigger understanding of how this entire earthly system works. Now, that was many years ago. I found a passion for that. But as you get older, let's say wiser, as you're knowing that this entire system is a fabrication, deepens, and you're able to see from a higher perspective and understand that you're creating all of this. You're creating all of this. It's an illusion. Why would you want to continue to study that illusion deeply? Yes, it's fascinating. The intricacies of this place. It's so profound that is the reason that many people become atheists, because they see the billiard ball type cause and reaction effects that happen in this illusion that we live in. And it fools you. It fools you into believing that this is the only thing there is. One day your eyes get pried open. You have a spiritual awakening, like happened to me. And you start to understand that this is a projection. You are infinitely powerful. You're creating all of this to learn lessons in separation. That is my level of understanding of this now. So then the ability to go back and pull apart the illusion to see how it intricately works, well, it just seems like a waste of time to me. I'm more interested in the higher level understanding of how this works. So I was doing mundane things today, like washing dishes, often where many of my profound realizations come while I get my hands in moving water. There's something to that, by the way. And I was thinking about quantum entanglement. Now, this is an energetic system. It's a fabrication. in that everything is energy. Everything, matter included. It's a fabrication of an energetic system designed to for us to inhabit and learn lessons. It's a school. So if matter isn't real per se, I mean, it's real in that it is a thought in the mind of some divine creator, i.e. you, us, we. This mosquito isn't real. Although, on the sense of me having to inhabit this physical body, that mosquito is very real. That mosquito will fly around and it will bite me and it will draw my blood and it will take it away and I will get itchy. On another level, this is an avatar. I'm inhabiting it as a soul, puppeteering it through the chakra system, and the mosquito was sent to annoy me to prove a point in this video. On another system, there's monitoring spirits that, level of understanding. There's a monitoring spirit. Maybe that's what that is. It's us versus them. Someone's trying to prevent me from doing something. I'm trying to do something. It's us. It's a battle. A higher level, you create it all. On an even higher level, it's already been done. Everything's already happened. You're not choosing any of this now. You've already chosen it. It's already happened. So that is the ever-expanding cone of wisdom, we'll call it. So it becomes us versus them, higher level of understanding, higher level of higher till you get to the very tippy top where you are the creator and you understand everything. And we are the creator. We are all the same. So it's all energy, and like I said, you want to rise the frequencies and have your level of understanding from a higher perspective. So that's what happened today. I had my hands in some water and I was thinking about quantum entanglement, and it occurred to me that everything that I'm watching a little bird. Everything that is the truth, let's say, are the things that happen that we call glitches or anomalies in the system, weird things. Those are the actual truth, leaking through the illusion that is physics, geology, chemistry. All the stuff that makes sense is the illusion. So quantum entanglement being one of those things that is the truth that looks like spooky action at a distance. Now that term was coined by Albert Einstein. And it refers to the fact that when two particles become quantumly entangled, you can separate them by an infinite amount of distance. And if you apply an effect to one of those particles, it'll cause an opposing effect in the other particle instantly. i.e., it's faster than the speed of light. So, I mean, this has practical applications in that you could make a computer system that was quantumly entangled with another interface, send a message through one, and it would instantly be received on the other. Therefore, if you had one computer system on Earth and one on Mars, you could have faster than light communication, which I think right now it takes 4 minutes for a message to be received from Mars. That's not the only application, obviously, but that's one. So it defies the laws of physics. It's outside the laws of physics. Faster than speed of light communication is impossible. Or is it? What's happening there And it's spooky because it's outside of the knowledge of the laws of physics that we hang our hats on, and our egos like to vehemently hold on to in order to feel safe, like we understand what's going on around us. But that's the joke. It's spooky. It is. If you've ever had an instance of this in your life where you've had something like this happen, I mean, I'm kind of being cryptic here, but where you've had interactions with devices, or the timing of something seems so absurdly out of place that it makes you question reality itself. This is what this is like. And that's what reality is like. When you're on the other side, astrally living, not bound by this physical body, which isn't physical at all. Whatever you think of, whatever you want, you have it. Whatever you want to experience, it's done. So there's no delay, there's no wait, there's none of these constraints of the laws of physics. That's why we come here in the first place, to experience that. So these quantumly entangled particles, if everything is energy, and everything on the other side happens as soon as you want it to, and there is no constraints over distance and time and space, that's reality. That's the reality above this limited reality we live in. So it's quantum entanglement is like the higher realms leaking through into this one. There's no distance. It's all energy stacked on top of other energy. It can all occur in the same place at the same time. If your life is an energetic system and an energetic series of events that happens, it's how many of those different, slightly out of phase frequencies can you have in one space at a time? Someone else's life is another series of linear events in an energetic system. It all occurs in the same place. Same place means there's no distance. So if I quantumly entangle with somebody, another me on another dimension, just a higher frequency, we can send messages through time and space. Do you see? Do you see what I mean? Like it's a way for higher knowing to leak down into this lower knowing environment that we all live in. And that's not an accident. Nothing is an accident. This wasn't overlooked. Like I've said before, this isn't a forethought or an afterthought of the divine. They actually mistakenly forgot to take this one out and we just figured it out. It's in there because it's supposed to be in there for people like me to have that understanding and hopefully explain it to somebody else. And I'm not the only one who's had this understanding. There's a particular gentleman named Donald Hoffman. I think he's a doctor of physics, if I'm not mistaken, possibly mathematics, I'm not sure. But he's a well-known, in that field, and he's come to the same conclusion I have. He can explain it much more eloquently using physics, but my language isn't physics. My language is geology. So quite often I'll get these clair-knowings, an understanding of how this works, and I'll explain it through analogies, because that is the way that I can explain it to the people that I speak with. I don't speak with physicists. I don't speak that language. And so I use it in the language that I can. So hopefully that makes sense to someone. It's pretty complicated. A lot of this is really difficult to explain. When you have a clairsentience, clair-knowing, you know. And when something resonates with that particular level of knowing that you're at, you feel it. You don't logically put the steps together. You either just get the information in a way that's digestible for the human brain, or you get alarm bells going off when you hear something that resonates with the actual truth. And now truth is fluid. As you go up the cone of knowing, cone of understanding, it expands and widens. It becomes harder and harder to translate the higher you go up down to the lower levels where we are existing right now using speech. Much harder. Every level you go up, it gets more and more difficult to explain. You have to do it in stages. Like I said, the mosquito. At one level, it's just a mosquito. At another level, it's a monitoring spirit, someone watching us. At another level, it's, I sent that spirit, that thing here. And then you just keep going up and up and up and up. And you have to go from one step to the next. You can't go from the very top to the bottom. It's just too difficult. The compression rate on the data is too narrow. It's, you can see it by the way that I'm stumbling with my words trying to explain this. It's so hard to do. I'm trying to do that in written form. That's what this book is about, partly. But it's a challenge. Anyway, I think I'll leave it there. I had quite a month. It's been crazy. Absolutely nutty. You know, I went through an epic heart opening. You can see from my last video, it was about 10 days ago, what was going on. I just had a memory of it from childhood where I remembered someone trying to unalive me at 3 years old. And I understand why all that happened now. I hold no hard feelings towards anyone. I understand why it happens in that order now too as well. So in order for me to have an understanding of what people in these situations experience, I have to experience it myself. In order for me to get to the point where I'm comfortable speaking on camera, I have to be completely uncomfortable in my skin to start with. This is how you get a knowing. So you have things like that happen in your life. And what that did when that happened at 3 was shut down my confidence, shut down my feeling of safety, make me struggle in the first half of my life. And many other things happened at different stages. It was all part of the lesson plan. How are you going to understand depression, deep depression, if you aren't going to go through deep depression? So this was the play, and I just went through one of the biggest ones ever. In fact, I remember having this suppressed memory come up when I was about 12, and then I suppressed it again, and I remember suppressing it again. So it's been really interesting, heartbreaking at times, but I'm coming out of it, and I'm feeling more optimistic, and I'm feeling like trying to explain some of this stuff again. And, you know, I'm getting some little wins in my life too. You know, I had someone that I care for deeply had a big success here recently. So I feel really proud of them and happy for them. So I think I'll leave it there. I don't know what this video is about. Spooky action at a distance. All the weird things, the things that happen that seem to be outside of science, those are the real things. Like the double slit experiment. There's another good one. Where if there's a conscious observer, the experiment set up with a conscious observer, the energy acts as a particle, the light. And when there's no one there, it acts as a wave. Because it's a wave. It's a wave, and it's rendered as a particle when someone's looking at it. This isn't an accident either. So anyway, this is all All the cool things happen on the outside, on the fringes, on the glitches, on the weird things, like the placebo effect. There's another good one. So I think we'll leave it there. Hope everybody's doing well. Like I always say, I hope this video finds you well. I love you all, and we'll see you soon.